Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a complimentary quad, man. This complimentary quad is featuring the music of Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac was Artist of the Month last January, and I had missed so many songs, and there was actually a couple of following up tunes requested, and so I knew that at that point in time that we will be doing some more Fleetwood Mac in the future. So I would like to say thanks very much first off to Sarah J. Sarah, thank you very much. Sarah sent us 4 tunes to check out, and I believe that they're all live performances, starting with I'm So Afraid in 76, followed by Songbird in 77, and in 77 as well, Fireflies, live in studio one take, and then finally in 97, Silver Springs. Yeah, man, so looking forward to it. Fleetwood Mac is a band with so much history, so much layers, so much talent, so much of everything, never a dull moment with Fleetwood Mac. So I'm looking forward to it, man. So let's check this out, starting with I'm So Afraid. Fleetwood Mac, I'm So Afraid. Let's get it. fun to watch Mick Fleetwood do his drumming thing and his facial expressions. Good musician. All of them. I'm speaking of Lindsay though. Hey. All right, man. Good jam. Good jam. It's good to see them kind of like in a live atmosphere like that, you know. See them jamming together and their antics and everything. Cool. Excellent. I'm so afraid. I've never even heard of this song. Yeah, excellent tune, man. Really, really cool to watch Lindsay do his guitar work and do his musicianship. Of course, you think of Lindsey Buckingham, the singer, the great writer, the harmonizer with the two ladies. But I don't often think of Lindsey Buckingham, the great guitarist, and obviously he is. So excellent, man. Good choice, Sarah. All right. So, man, so much background where Fleetwood Mac is concerned, and I'm so afraid. Yeah, so speaking of Sarah, man, let me just read to you her short note that she sent me. Hi Wayne, here's my quad. In January 2019, Fleetwood Mac was Artist of the Month. These are some songs that were missed, and they're all live renditions. When this band was on, they were fantastic. All of these performances are, in my humble opinion, utterly transcendent, and you would hear them. Excellent. Yeah, absolutely. I see what you're saying. All right. So, man. Okay. So I'm just going to the Wikipedia page here, and it's more album info, a little bit of song info, 3 short paragraphs. So let's see what we can learn here, man. I'm So Afraid. I'm So Afraid is a song written by Lindsey Buckingham for the British-American rock band Fleetwood Mac's 10th album, Fleetwood Mac. The song was intended for a second Buckingham Nicks album, but the album never came to fruition. The final track of the album, it was released as the B-side to the song Over My Head. It was a hard rock song, quite atypical of Fleetwood Mac's songs, at least following the Peter Green era. But it quickly became a live staple, showcasing Buckingham's guitar chops. The studio version of the song is in G natural minor, but live versions are usually transposed down to F natural minor. It appeared on all live albums recorded after its release, including Live, The Dance, Fleetwood Mac, Live in Boston, and on the 2015 box set of Tusk. The live recording from The Dance was included in an edition form on the US 2002 and UK 2009 release of the Greatest Hits compilation album, The Very Best of Fleetwood Mac. My God, man, that was just one long ass sentence. It's like 5 sentences in one, no breaks. Buckingham also included the song on his solo live albums, Live at the Bass Performance Hall, Songs from the Small Engine, Live in LA, and One Man Show. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, it was a struggle getting through that. No breaks or anything like that. And these long ass titles. But that's all the info given for I'm So Afraid. A great song. So to really hear it, you've got to catch them live because it's usually in their live set. Yeah, I know that these guys are really well renowned. I'm speaking specifically of the two ladies and Buckingham. I believe that they've been awarded great accolades for their songwriting. They're in some sort of a top echelons list. So yeah, man, lots of talent coming from Fleetwood Mac, starting all the way with Peter Green and going all the way to Buckingham Nicks and to the present. Very, very good. I know that Lindsay's no longer with the band right now, and he's been replaced by two. So more on that a little later. But for now, let's check out Songbird. Fleetwood Mac, Songbird. Let's get it. Oh, Christine.
For you, there'll be no more crying. For you, the sun will be shining, and I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. To you, I'll give the world. To you, I'll never be cold. 'Cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds are singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before.
I love her voice, man.
And I wish you all the love in the world. But most of all, I wish it from myself. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. Like never before. Like never before.
Awesome. The pains and sacrifice of love. Good song. Great singer. Yo, man. Christine McVie. is one of my favorite female singers across all genres. I love her straightforward way of getting to the point, but doing it so eloquently. Her voice is it's got that really cool, slightly hazy feel to it, and she can sing anything with that voice of hers. And she can sing blues, which is something that I really like. She can sing all manner of different songs. It's one of the coolest female voices I've ever heard. She is a great, what am I trying to say? She's just a great ambassador of what you can do in regards to just your voice and your piano. And when you put her together with great singer-songwriters like Buckingham and Nix, and of course great instrumentation like McVie and Fleetwood, you've got a fantastic combination, and you've got a power group like Fleetwood Mac. But the lady herself, man, I really, really like her. I dig her very much. She was in one of my Ladies in Rock series, and what I'll do is I will attach that to the body of this reaction, so that you can go to that. I'll upload it and attach it. Lots of re-uploading to do. Okay, man, great song, great singer. And when she sings, even though I'm not a big fan of love songs, ballads, broken heart love songs, and the like, and all of that sort of thing, I've got the time to listen to her sing, man. She is an exception to that rule. Nothing corny, it isn't sappy, it doesn't make me roll my eyes and say, oh man, here we go with another damn love song. No, when it comes to Christine McVie, you've got my ears wide open. So, let's do a little read here. And again, some song info, mostly album info, but a little bit more body here. So we're looking at a couple of decent paragraphs. So let's see what we can learn here, man. Songbird. Songbird is a popular song by British-American rock band Fleetwood Mac. It first appeared on the 1977 album Rumours and was released as the B-side of the single Dreams. It's one of the 4 songs written solely by Christine McVie on the album. She would frequently sing the song at concerts. The song came to McVie as the band was finishing up a recording session at the Sausalito record plant. Producer Kent Kellett loved the track and suggested she record it alone in a concert-style approach. Their first venue of choice, the Berkeley Community Theater, was unavailable, so the band instead booked the Zellerbach Auditorium for March 3rd of '76. To create the appropriate ambience, Kellett ordered a bouquet of flowers to place on her piano. He then requested 3 spotlights to illuminate the flowers from above. When McVie arrived at the auditorium, the house lights were dimmed, so her attention was immediately brought to the illuminated flowers on the piano. That's setting the mood, man. So in order to capture the optimal performance, 15 microphones were placed around the auditorium. The recording session went into the next morning due to the difficulty of recording the song live in one take. Lindsey Buckingham strummed an acoustic guitar off stage to keep the tempo. Okay, excellent. See, it's little bits of info like that I really appreciate learning. Eve Cassidy's version was released in '98 on her posthumous compilation album of the same name, Songbird. Despite being released 2 years after her death from melanoma, the album eventually reached number 1 in the UK in 2001. Songbird finally charted in the UK in September of 2009 at number 56, after a contestant, Shanna Goodhead, performed the song on The X Factor. Willie Nelson covered Songbird on his own 2006 album, Songbird, making it the second album to be named after the song. The album peaked at number 87 on the Billboard 200. Okay, so some notable covers of the song. It's a beautiful song though, man. Excellent. So that is the info given on Songbird. So, next up will be Fireflies, 1977's Fireflies. Fleetwood Mac, Fireflies. Let's get it.
To be the last to leave, the last to be gone, stolen from the ones who hang on to it. To be the last in the line, for the ones that live on, silhouette of their dream, treasured by the ones who hung on to it. Almost a breakdown of our love affair. The stiletto cuts quick, let it whip through the air. Long distance winners, where we survive the fight. No one of us run from the firelight. I would love to believe, I believe what you say. In the drama of the moment, oh, there is no easy way. No one ever leaves. Everyone stays close to the fireplace. I would love to believe, I believe what you say. In the drama of the moment, for us there is no easy way. No one ever leaves. Everyone stays close to the fireplace. The last to leave. What called fearsome devotion night? There was no competition, but you survived to it right. Oh, you believe in the fight to survive the distance. Everyone fights, everyone fights, and the
The song is describing their tumultuous relationships.
Of all
Okay. It's a biographical tune. And they're the 5 Fireflies. Yeah. It's a really good look at the relationships in Fleetwood Mac. She's talking about some of the things that binds them together, but also some of the things that make life difficult, being with each other, in and around with each other, and also locked in this five-some pairing because of their music and their obligations to the craft that is Fleetwood Mac. Wow, that is something, and it keeps you coming back because you have an obligation, you know that you've got talent, and you know that within the structure of these 5 people, you can create something really, really elemental and fantastic. That must have been quite something, having that realization and going through all of their different challenges over the years. Fleetwood Mac is a band, man. To me, they're a band of wonder. To be facing all of these challenges with their relationships and being together for so long, touring together, all of these different things. One day, I got to sit down and I got to read their entire body, their entire biography, whatever the case may be. Damn, man. If I had a chance to sit down and interview these 5 folks, the questions I would ask them, man. And I would start all the way back from the Peter Green era, It would be great. Anyway, hey. So, man, Fireflies. 1977, live in studio, 1 take. All right. Yeah, and again, too, I also did a feature on Stevie Nicks' Women in Rock series. I believe it was a quad. Or no, it was a 5. And what I'll do is I'll also upload and attach that to the body of this quad, kind of bring you up to speed. I'm thinking maybe I should re-upload all of my Fleetwood Macs. That's what I'll do. I'll re-upload all of my Fleetwood Macs and I'll attach them to the body of this quad. I'm talking even all the way back to the Peter Green era, all of my reactions. It's a lot because it was from last year and they were Artist of the Month. So all of those reactions, I'll re-upload and attach here. So, man, let's do a little read, see what we can learn. Sorry, I just lost my damn page, man. Okay, here we go. So, Fireflies appears on the album Live. Yeah, it's all live, information, album information. Live is a double live album released by British American rock band Fleetwood Mac in 1980. It was the first live album from the then current lineup of the band, and the next would be The Dance from 1997. The album was certified gold, that's 500,000 copies sold, by the RIAA in November of '81. Live consists of recordings taken primarily from the 79 to 80 Tusk tour, together with a few from the earlier Rumors tour of 1977. 2 songs were recorded at a Paris soundcheck and 3 at a performance at Santa Monica Civic Auditorium for an audience of friends and road crew. Of particular note are 3 new songs: Christine McVie's One More Night, Stevie Nicks' Fireflies, and a well-harmonized backstage rendition of the Beach Boys' The Farmer's Daughter. The latter 2 were released as singles. Fireflies reached the top 60 in the US, while The Farmer's Daughter reached the top 10 in Austria. Fireflies was Nicks' rumination on the tumultuous recording of the Tusk album and her observance that the band stayed intact nevertheless. Her lyrics referred to band members as the 5 Fireflies. Don't Let Me Down Again is a song from the Buckingham Nicks album. The band covered Farmer's Daughters at the request of Buckingham, who deemed the Brian Wilson tune obscure enough to include on the album. Also notable are two Lindsey Buckingham guitar showcases. The first, I'm So Afraid, was popular as a concert finale during this period. The second was Buckingham's take on former Mac guitarist Peter Green's signature number, Oh Well, originally in 1969, a single release. Excellent. I would love to actually hear Lindsey Buckingham cover Oh Well. That would be really cool. Yeah, and so that is the album info, more so album info than song info. But yeah, you know, the song is very, very straightforward, easy to understand what she's singing about, and all of the experiences. And she mentions tumultuous. And in and around the time of the Tusk album, I remember the tumultuous reference is probably her relationship with Mick Fleetwood. She had an estranged relationship with Lindsey. Things got out of hand at a party. They were all stoned, and she hooked up with Mick, and she was expecting them to be together going forward. But Mick had different plans. Man, this could play out like a soap opera, let me tell you. It would probably be the most popular daytime soap if you take excerpts from their lives and put it together and fuse it as a soap opera. I'm not looking at making fun at their life or anything. I'm sure there's still pain attached to it all. But many, many years later, as an outsider looking in, first impression basis, getting all of this information, you know, that's how it kind of plays out in my mind. And that laugh is probably more so relief that I've never actually had to live a life like that. Better you guys than me. So, man, that is the information given for Fireflies and the live album. So, let's bounce to our final track, man, and that being Silver Springs. All right. Fleetwood Mac, Silver Springs. Let's get it. Right. I remember this video. I reacted to this last year.
You could be my silver spring, blue-green colors flashing. I would be your only dream. You're shining on an ocean crashing. And did you say she was pretty? And did you say that she loves you? Baby, I don't wanna know.
Stevie Nicks.
I begin not to love you. Turn around, see me running. I say I loved you years ago. Tell myself you never
Standing O. Absolutely. Wow. Silver Springs. Yeah, man, you talk about a group of folks in Fleetwood Mac that have so much that binds them together, so much history, so much passion, love, hate, challenges, blood, sweat, and tears, all of those things combined together, and you've got the masterful five Fireflies of Fleetwood Mac. Yo, man, this was an intense moment. Silver Springs, I know of this song that it was actually made back in the day, and it was supposed to be, was it on the Rumors album, and it didn't make it. There was no room, and so she never had a chance to, I guess, address Lindsay in song back in the day. And I like that duel between them. They address each other in song, and you know what's happening in the relationship, you know what's happening in their feelings and all of that sort of thing. It's quite intense. The crowd was quiet. They were looking at each other. They were addressing each other. And I remember in my reaction to this song at first, I remember making the comment that, even though they might be, I don't know, with other partners at the present moment, these two individuals, Buckingham and Nix, they own each other's soul. You're coming into a relationship with one of them already in a prenup state, knowing of their past, knowing that they are at the altar of each other's soul. And so you may own that person's heart, but you may have that person's heart, but Lindsay and Stevie, they own each other's soul. And there's just nothing you can do about that. It's either you jet or you accept it. But, where it comes to Nix and Buckingham, I've described them as this, in the construct of Fleetwood Mac. These five people, you've got John and you've got Mick. They are the ground. They are the cornerstone pillars of the group. The ladies, they're the soul essence of the group. Lindsay is the heart of that group. And you take out one of those elements, it could limp on, but it's not going to be as efficient. Now, what I'm referring to is I've heard that with them touring and where they're without Lindsay, that I guess the concert is not as satisfying, not as fulfilling. This is just what I'm hearing, and I'm inclined to believing it. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you feel. Maybe you've seen their concert recently, and they have not missed anything. They're not missing Lindsay at all. Or maybe it's the opposite. I'm inclined to feel it might be the opposite. The guy is the heart of Fleetwood Mac, and you take that element out and it slowly starts to die. That's what I feel. But let me know if I'm right about that. Let me know if I'm anywhere in the ballpark. Educate an ignorant brother about this. So, yeah, man. When I first did this reaction, and again, that reaction I'm definitely going to upload and attach to this one, and you can kind of see and compare. I was also saying too that with their relationships, Fleetwood Mac, they've got so much to share with you, teach you, talk about, and all together they've still managed to stay together making great music. They might have a tough time with their personal relationships, but where it comes to creating fabulous music, they are top notch, and they know this. They know this about each other. They'll probably have a talk with each other saying, even though I might have a disastrous relationship at present, I know that I'm part of a fivesome that can make masterful works of music. And they know that about themselves, and that is probably one of those big elements that keeps them together, keeps them going. Man, Fleetwood Mac, I could listen to them all day. They've got a great signature sound between the two ladies and Lindsay. They have a great sound. Now, of course, I love the Fleetwood Mac of the past as well, the Bob Welsh era, the Peter Green era. But there is something special about the Buckingham Nicks era as well. And I give them props for being able to transcend into the 80s and still be relevant, you know. So there's so much about this band. Definitely one of the greatest bands ever, man. So let me just do a quick read here, man, on Silver Springs. Well, it isn't such a quick read. There's more information on Silver Springs. But yeah, I'll read a couple of paragraphs anyway, man. Get some background. You know there's some crazy ass history here. Silver Springs. Silver Springs is a song written by Stevie Nicks and performed by Fleetwood Mac. It was originally intended for the band's 1977 album Rumors, but became a B-side to the song Go Your Own Way. Yeah, and again, Go Your Own Way. That's Lindsay talking to Stevie. A live version was released as a single from the 1997 album The Dance. This version of the song was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals in '98. Silver Springs was originally intended for the album Rumors, but years after the fact, Nicks commented that the song's exclusion from the album marked a growing tension in the band. The track describes Nicks' perspective on the ending of the romantic relationship between her and Lindsey Buckingham. She has said, quote, "I wrote Silver Springs about Lindsey, and we were in Maryland somewhere driving under a freeway sign that said Silver Springs. And I loved the name, Silver Springs. It sounded like a pretty fabulous place to me. And you could be my Silver Springs. That's just a whole symbolic thing of what you could have been to me." Unquote. According to Rolling Stone, Nicks' tender yet vengeful post-mortem of her breakup with Buckingham became an emotional lightning rod. No doubt. Could you imagine what he said to her after they got backstage? He's be like, "Yo, I'm married, man. Don't be pulling shit like that." Something like that, perhaps. The song would have behind-the-scenes repercussions for decades to come, nearly leading to the breakup of the band. For multiple reasons, including its length and relatively slower tempo, and overstrenuous objections from Nicks, the song was excluded from the Rumors album. In a '97 documentary on the making of Rumors, Richard Dashut, the engineer and co-producer, called it the best song that never made it to a record album. The song was, however, released in late '76 as the B-side of the Go Your Own Way single, a Buckingham written song about the Nicks-Buckingham breakup. In '97, the song got a second life on the reunion album The Dance. During the filming of the reunion concert that brought Nicks and Buckingham back to the fold, Silver Springs was on the set list. Nicks has admitted that the fiery take on the song that appears in The Dance was for posterity. "I wanted people to stand back and really watch and understand what the relationship with Lindsey was. I never thought that Silver Springs would ever be performed on stage again," Nicks reflected during a '97 MTV interview. "My beautiful song just disappeared 20 years ago. For it had come back around like this was really, it has really been very special to me." Unquote. Yeah, man. That song represents words and feelings not shared. And so it's like waiting 20 years to finally exhale, 20 years to finally express herself. And she did it in this performance. And I think that he knew it was coming. But again, he's a captured bird. He can't go anywhere. He's got to stand there. He's got to take it. You know, they feed it to each other though. And like I said, man, even though they might be with other people or whatever the case is, they own each other's soul. And that's just the way it is. Some people come into this world and you have a bond. And, and there's just nothing you can do, especially if you are a partner of that person. And especially if they've been with each other beforehand. That's just how it is, man. You know, you may have their heart, but that person owns their soul, you know? So, that is Silver Springs, and that is my reaction to this excellent quad. Sarah, you outdone yourself, man. I think you've scouted me really, really well. You know that I don't like sappy-ass love songs, but you knew that I would like these songs because they have a stronger essence of being. That coming from Fleetwood Mac. You probably have listened to me in the past and you knew what it was that I would actually like. So, hey, you scouted me really well. These are great, great songs, man. Excellent, excellent quad. So, I definitely would like to get back to doing a little bit more Fleetwood Mac. And if you have more recommendations, hey, don't be shy. Send them my way, man. I'm just scrolling down now here and just checking out my notes, man. Yeah, so we're at Saturday. This is Saturday, and sorry to say, man, I have issues with my uploading. There is 2 Led Zeppelins that's just sitting in a stupid ass uploading loop. Thankfully, earlier my ZZ Top side 2 of Rio Grande Mud finally dropped, but man, I don't know what the hell. So that's what's happening right now. And sometimes they can all drop at once. So you might actually see 2 or 3 reactions drop at once. But Akachita's quad is also in that loop. So I don't know if they're going to drop in sequence or drop out of sequence time-wise. But just so you know what's happening, you might get like 3 notifications all at once. And that's why. So fingers crossed with Sarah's quad here that it's going to just shoot past that loop. I really, really hope so, because timing is a very important thing. On Monday, I've got Robin Trower's birthday quad coming up. John sent me a quad for Robin Trower, so I hope that takes right away and that we're not in a loop for days or whatnot. But that's what's happening with me, just so you know. Lots of quads coming up, man, and I'm going to get back onto a couple of full album reactions for Black Sabbath and Deep Purple, and Led Zeppelin. So Fool in the Rain is still in the loop, and I can't recall what the name of the following song on side 1 of Led Zeppelin is, but that's coming probably Friday. I'm shooting for Friday only because the weekend work is just going to arrest my time, and I'll be busy with work, so you're not going to see a lot of activity from me next weekend. So expect the next Led Zeppelin to drop on Friday. That's what I'm gonna shoot for. So that's my outline for the week. That's my reaction to this fantastic quad. I always have time for Fleetwood Mac. And Sarah, I always have time for you and your great recommendations. Thanks again, man. So you guys have yourselves a good day, and I'll catch you in my next complimentary quad. Peace out.